This is the ENGWE M20 electric bike. The first thing that caught my eye was its shape. It doesn't look like your typical bicycle at all. In fact, most of my friends agree it looks like a mini motorbike or a retro-inspired moped. That alone made me really excited to try it out. The chunky 20 by 4-inch fat tires and bright headlight just add to that unique, ready-for-anything look. So I started out a little skeptical, honestly, just because I've tried a few electric bikes before and they didn't really fit my daily needs or felt too weak for real adventure. This one, though, changed my perspective from day one. I use the ENGWE M20 on my daily commute to school, as well as for random joyrides around town. It did not disappoint. Key features that stand out. The motor is 750 watts, but it peaks at 1,000 watts. And while that might sound like spec talk, what it means for me is I can cruise up pretty steep hills without even breaking a sweat. The motor is strong enough that I'm not struggling against the bike on those annoying long inclines or when carrying my backpack and groceries home. I regularly hit about 28 miles per hour on open stretches, which is more speed than I ever realistically need for city riding. Another thing I want to mention is the dual battery setup. The model I have in front of me is the one with both batteries installed, which is awesome for someone like me who likes taking long rides without worrying about running out of power. ENGWE claims this setup gives a range up to 94 miles. I haven't drained both batteries fully in one continuous ride, but I've done over 40 miles in a single day, combining pedal assist and pure electric mode, and still had plenty of juice left for another ride. If you're wondering, pedal assist means the motor helps you pedal, so you still have to turn the cranks, but it feels way easier, especially at the higher assist levels. The LCD display is actually pretty straightforward, even if you haven't used an e-bike before. There's a power button to activate the bike, and another button to light up the screen, which then shows your speed, battery percentage, pedal assist mode, and how many miles you've done. There are 5 pedal assist modes. I usually ride on the 3rd or 4th setting, enough speed for biking with traffic, but not draining the battery too quickly. Something I really liked is the full suspension setup. Both the front and the rear have shock absorbers. What that means in practice is, when I go over potholes or take the bike off the road onto gravel paths or a grassy park, the ride doesn't beat me up. I don't feel all those tiny bumps and rocks. When I first tried e-bikes, I was always a little hesitant about hitting rougher terrain, but this bike eats up uneven surfaces, and my hands and back thank me for it, especially during longer rides. Other practical features made a big difference too. The built-in headlight and taillight means I can ride in the early morning or get home late without worrying about not being seen. The taillight lights up when I hit the brakes, just like on a car or motorbike, adding an extra bit of safety that I appreciate. The horn is a nice touch as well. You'd be surprised how useful it is when you need to alert distracted drivers or people lost in their phones. Switching gears is done with a Shimano 7-speed twist shifter. Another thing I was a little unsure about at first. It's easy to understand though. Higher numbers mean easier pedaling. If you're new to this, don't stress. You'll figure out pretty quickly which gear works for different slopes or speeds. If there's one area where I think some people might hesitate, it's the weight. With both batteries installed, this is not a light bike. It's over 99 pounds, and I'm not going to pretend that carrying it upstairs or squeezing it into tight indoor spaces is easy. Once it's rolling though, it doesn't feel heavy at all thanks to the powerful motor. Dropping down to one battery shaves off some weight, but if you don't need to carry it much, I think the second battery is worth having for the range. I should also mention the seat. It's padded and feels comfortable even after an hour or two of riding, but it's not adjustable. I'm around 5'8", and the fit works well for me, but if you're much taller or rely heavily on pedaling without the motor, you might feel a little cramped. For me, this is more of a cruise and relax bike. Lots of throttle and pedal assist, less of an intense, upright cycling workout. Mechanical disc brakes mean stopping power is decent and predictable, even in wet weather. I did feel like high-speed stops could use a bit more bite, but I haven't had any issues with safety. Hydraulic brakes would have been better, but for everyday riding and commutes, the current setup is just fine. From my experience, the fat tires are great all around. I've taken this bike across grass fields, gravel, sandy areas, and regular pavement. The grip on loose dirt is confidence-inspiring. I didn't feel like I was losing control at any point, and that's a huge plus if you're new to chunkier e-bikes. The knobs on the tires help with stability, but they're not so aggressive that city roads feel draggy or slow. Maintenance hasn't been a headache either. The bike arrived about 90% assembled. All I had to do was attach the front wheel, handlebars, and a couple accessories. The included toolkit was enough to get the job done. If you have some basic experience with bikes, setup should be a breeze. I've kept it pretty clean, just wiping down after muddy rides and making sure the chain stays lubricated. For me, this bike is perfect for people who want one ride that can take them to work or school, let them explore parks and trails on the weekends, and catch a few looks from passers-by. The design is a head-turner, and I've gotten plenty of compliments and a few questions from curious strangers at stoplights. At first, I worried about reliability and support, but knowing the bike has all the right certifications, plus a decent warranty, 2 years on core components, helped put my mind at ease. I haven't needed help, but knowing there's a support team is reassuring. The low noise level is another big plus. Even at top speed, the motor is super quiet, so you don't get that high-pitched electric whine that some e-bikes have. If I had to sum up, the ENGWE M20 electric bike is a solid mix of power, comfort, style, and real-world practicality. In my opinion, you're getting a unique-looking ride with enough power and range for long trips, plus enough comfort to keep you from dreading daily errands. I'd recommend this for anyone who wants to upgrade from a regular bike, needs something more powerful for commutes, or just wants a fun way to get around without breaking the bank for a real motorcycle. In conclusion, I'm honestly impressed with the ENGWE M20. It isn't perfect. The fixed seat height and weight might not fit everyone, but those seem minor when you factor in the power, comfort, and attention you get riding this thing. It's tough enough for rough conditions, simple enough for new riders, and good-looking enough to make you proud of owning it. I will share detailed information about the ENGWE M20 electric bike in the comments section, everyone. Thank you for watching.